Good morning.
Greetings from Monmouth University. I am Patrick Leahy, the president of Monmouth University, located in West Long Branch, New Jersey. And on behalf of the entire Monmouth University community, I am both honored and delighted to welcome His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, today. To His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I would like to extend my warm welcome and deep gratitude for being with us today to engage in an important conversation about the interconnectedness of happiness, health, well-being, and the future of Earth. Our students, faculty, and other esteemed guests are delighted to participate in this special occasion together. We at Monmouth had been eagerly anticipating this conversation for several months. We have planned and carried out a series of reflective events leading up to this opportunity for our community to engage directly with His Holiness. And we will continue to celebrate and honor his ideals with educational programming and events throughout the fall semester. We thank His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, for being with us at Monmouth University today. We are deeply honored by your presence, enriched by your words, and inspired to lead happier, healthier, and more compassionate and harmonious lives for the benefit of generations to come on Earth. His Holiness will now share his reflections on our happy, healthy, and sustainable future.
Thank you. You give me this opportunity, discussion about peace, happiness. So thank you very much. Now, obviously, we all, including animals or small insects, is want peace. We call any sentient being do not want disturbances. It's clear. Even small animal or even insect, when some like fire, they always say, try to escape. So that's nature. We, particularly human being, one big difference is we have this brain. So how to overcome problem, how to avoid problem. Because of this intelligence, we can think more wider way. And as far as time is concerned, thinking about the future. Other animal, very short-sighted. You see, we human being, you say, long-sighted thinking. Yet, in the past, we human being become most troublemaker. One example, I often feel weapon. We human being, 1,000 years, we human being created weapon. But sometimes we call that weapon for peace. But actually, the very sort of work, because responsibility of a weapon is kill. So therefore, in the past human history, without a weapon, I think world can be more peaceful. But we spent a lot of money, a lot of energy making weapon to save. Nowadays, you see, in the name of to save world peace. Weapon cannot help any sort of peace. Weapon, as I mentioned earlier, you see, only for violence. So now today's world, the whole world is heavily interdependent. Even continent, or east or west, unlike previous centuries. In the past, we very much sort of concerned about your own continent or your own nation, your own area. Now, like global warming, you see, beyond one individual nation's or what's the interest, the interest for whole world and economy. Now, people call global economy. So now actually weapons duty already now completed. We human beings on this planet, weapon really create a lot of killing, a lot of problem. Now I think we should say enough. Now we should have, you see, genuine, peaceful, without a weapon. I think only weapon, this one. This is not much harmful. When I was young, my weapon is my nail. My elder brother, now unfortunately no longer, Rosa Samden. Now he, many years we lived together. So we always very happy play together. Occasionally some fight. Then you see my niece, my kaza, nail. My nail is my best weapon. So my brother's face, some sort of, what's it, traces. Like that. So I really feel now we human beings on this planet, since we totally dedicated, want peace, harmony, and the concept of oneness of 7 billion human beings. So, according now that circumstances, weapon, no use. If the continental level, no longer weapon, then small country also, you see, automatically, nowhere to buy weapon. So therefore, now we should make some effort, you see, to reduce weapon, and eventually we should make effort no longer any factory which produce weapon. It is possible. So now, real world peace come from mind. Anger, jealousy, frustration, these are the source of violence. Now, we should make effort, try to strengthening basic human nature, more compassion. Since we are social animal, any social animal, you see, by nature, sense of community, always there. So we previously, small, your own family, your own nation, your own community. Now today, we have to think about world, humanity. So now no longer any sort of purpose of weapon. So in practical level, we should try to reduce weapon and eliminate weapon. And then secondly, we should pay more attention about our inner peace, emotional or mental level, genuine peace. That's the peace of basis of real peace is compassion, altruism. You see, everybody, you looks friend. So long, two eye, one nose, one mouth, we are same. No differences. If some like deity, third eye, come, then we may need some preparation. So long, same human face, more or less same human mind. There is no other way. We have to live side by side. Through that way, we really can develop peaceful, happy world. So now, we, my brothers, sisters, I myself, according to my own experience, when we were in Tibet, that the feeling, we Tibetan. After I came to India as a refugee, and more, the contact with a wider sort of world, wider sort of people, then they now no longer thinking we Tibetan, but rather we are same human brothers, sisters. With this feeling, wherever I go, I always feel we are same human brothers, sisters. As soon as we met, I always smile. From their side, also smile. If I remain this angry face, with that, expect some friendly attitude from other is unrealistic. First, you should create a smiling face, peace, compassionate face. then automatically we become truly human brothers, sisters. That's very important. So as I mentioned earlier, after I came to this country as a refugee, so no longer a national boundary, or country boundary, or religious boundary. We are same human being. So we are very happy. According to my own experience, I'm very happy. Wherever I go, I always go with the feeling we are same human brothers, sisters. No differences, country, race, or religion, like that. These are secondary, personal matter. As far as religion is concerned, it's personal matter, whether believe religion or not. If you believe religion, this religion, that is personal matter. Basically, we are same. So, so now important, we have to pay more attention about inner peace. Now, with doctors, just this morning, I checked by Tibetan doctor as well as modern doctor. They find my physical condition very good. So I believe not only just medicine, but my way of thinking, always peace. And on the basis, we all, bigger level, entire sentient being. And smaller level, we on this planet, we all same. So, peace of mind really immense help to create healthy body. Constant anger, then fear. So very bad for our health. So, although this is not my duty or my business, but I want doctors, nurses who helping patients, you see, should show more smile. According to my own experience, when I visit hospital, then doctors, nurses smiling, very sort of close feeling. And I feel very happy. If the doctor, some cases may be very good profession, but without a smile, then sometimes I feel, oh, this profession may carry some test on my body. So, as a human being, loving kindness, and on the base of oneness of human brothers, sisters, is the key factor. So, I think I may say, if Dalai Lama becomes refugee, the more, because of the circumstances, more angry face, then certainly I will not get more friends. No matter how difficult it is, and including Chinese hardliner, I always feel as our human brothers, sisters. So, therefore, you see, the Dalai Lama, number of people, you see, consider happy person. And therefore, you see, the real happiness, peace within our own mind. That I want to share with you. Sometimes, you see, people, you see, because they want peace, so what call tranquilizer, some medicine, tranquilizer. Maybe a short period, but I never touch tranquilizer. I always, you see, peaceful mind. And then, for me, another important is sleep. I always a 9 hours sleep. No sleeping pill, no tranquilizer. I like that. So, peace of mind, really, you see, very, very important. So, now, it is important to investigate what is destroyer of peace of mind. That's anger, fear. All these related with too much self-centered attitude. More compassionate mind, really very, very helpful for sleep, very helpful. And for digestion, also you see, compassionate mind, very, very helpful. I always feel hungry. So these, see, very important for human body. Good sleep, good digestion, isn't it? So these very much related with peace of mind, happy mind, peaceful mind. So that, so I want to share with my brothers, sisters from same world. We just simply same human brothers, sisters. As I already mentioned, religious faith or these are secondary. Thank you. Now question.
Good morning, Your Holiness, or good evening from New Jersey. My name is Joanne Jodry, and I'm the Program Director for Clinical Mental Health Counseling. I will be moderating the questions. Please know that we are very humbled and grateful for your wisdom that you're going to share with our Monmouth University community tonight. Our first question is coming from one of our students, Jacob Cordero.
Your Holiness, I first wanted to thank you for this opportunity. My questions are, what does climate change mean for our future? And what are you hoping that the world does to change?
Now changing the weather condition and you saw now global level, now this change, it is a process of nature. Logically, our world, the several thousand years ago, just empty space. Then gradually, you see some particles then form, we call Earth. Then gradually, or this sun, or due to sun, and the sun itself, you see, there was beginning. Before sun, no world, no this world. Other world, yes. So therefore, the things are, you see, changing. So now, some people say the sun may become hotter and hotter, and because of that, the global condition also now changing. Already we notice many places, some area too hot. Even the North Pole and South Pole, now they remain the level of melting ice now quite rapidly now coming because of the global the climate change. These are beyond our control. Now, next, I think, hopefully, a few centuries, you see, the weather sort of remain more, calm, also related with our way of life, happier, or behavior. So now, at least next, you see, few decades, we should take care about global changing. So in that respect, Tibet, the most river which cover almost whole Asia, directly India, China, and then some extent Pakistan. And then, so the important, the preservation of more, the green in Tibet. Then protect some of these rivers which cover China and India. So at least next one or two, 3 centuries. Then after that, nobody knows. Like that. Only one believer pray to Allah, pray to God. So whether God truly control weather condition or not, different question. But you see, it is good to feel, pray to Buddha, pray to God, pray to Allah, like that. Okay. Then?
Our next question comes from one of our deans, Raj Divasagayam.
Namaskar, Your Holiness. Thank you for meeting with us today. I bring you greetings from the Leon Hess Business School at Monmouth. Your Holiness, a lot of time is being spent on talking about the impact of COVID on our socioeconomic life. In your opinion, what is the lasting impact that this pandemic will have on our spiritual lives?
nowadays, what you call, to give,
No,
right?
not pandemic.
Ka,
No, coronavirus.
one,
Pandemic.
in a way, you see, serious sort of illness now we are facing. And America and some country in Europe and India nowadays seems little improving. So now there is no other way. We have to take care. And then in mental level, these new illness is part of, also the part of changing of the world. So, according doctors and nurses, we have to take also the care as much as we can. Then, meantime, the one Indian master, Shantadeva, mentioned any problem which we can overcome, then make effort. Any problem which beyond our control, then no worry to accept like that. So therefore, this new illness, we have to make effort. So what kind of sort of measure does the doctors and nurses, they have some special idea. Okay. Now next.
Our next question comes from another one of our students, Peter Quinton.
Good morning, Your Holiness. Thank you so much for hearing our questions. My question is, since Buddhist philosophy and practices were developed within the context of a collectivist Eastern culture, what are some challenges and how may these be remedied for people that come from an individual-centered Western culture integrating Buddhist philosophy and practices into their lives?
Oh, I feel Buddhism also is the emphasis, importance of individual person's peace of mind, happy life. Then with that experience, share with more people. So a group of people based on individual. So Buddhism also firstly, individual person through training, through learning should create happy person, then share with more people. Without your own, also these sort of potential, how can help other people? So I think we may say Buddha himself, firstly, he himself become Buddha. Then start teaching with other people, share with his own experience. So that's the way. So the Buddhism you see, does not mean totally ignore individuals' interest. Firstly, change individual. then share with more people. And the Buddhist sort of teaching, you should be example of other. So that means first you yourself improve, or then share with other people. So in a way, Buddhism is not just selfish thinking. Think other in order to help. Then firstly you yourself take care and be a disciplined, happy person. Then share with other people. So the Buddha's teaching does not mean should not think oneself. No. In order to serve other people, in order to help other people, first you yourself be disciplined and happy person. Like that. Now, among my friends, number of Western scholars, and including some scientists, now they really agree selfish, self-centered is the source of problem. More altruism, thinking other, is source of happiness and individual sort of healthy body. Now some scientists also now who especially sort of expert about human brain, too much self-centered thinking, then brain something kasure, kumbh, shrine, shrimp. So thinking other, mind become much more open, like that. So we cannot distinction Westerner or Easterner. No, we are same. We all born same way. We all grown up with one's own mother's care. No differences. So the cultural heritage, and with that way of life, more materialistic sort of country, and way of life, and those Eastern poorer country, there are some differences. These are superficial, minor. On this level, we cannot make distinction Westerner, Easterner. Okay.
The next question is coming from Professor Nicole Jackson Walker.
Your Holiness, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. As a mother of African American children, given our social and political divide, how does one foster more of a sense of community?
Now, I think America also, you see, previously the small community, then some sort of emphasis due to different color. Nowadays, that kind of thinking now changing. Easterner, Westerner, Southerner, Northerner, and within a country, a different religion, different color. These are now minor. So, a mother, say, different sort of race, from Africa, you should not think because of color, you yourself, you see, as a distance from other. No, we are same. So one example, I have some best friend like Bishop Tutu and Nelson Mandela, African. Though differences of color, when Bishop Tutu show me smile, same human smile. Like Nelson Mandela, also like that. So these are, you see, due to color. So I think narrow-minded, short-sighted politicians, you see, sometimes you see, make distinction. That way of thinking now gone, change. Okay.
Natalie Cruz, another one of our students, will ask our next question.
Your Holiness, I am honored and humbled to be in your presence. My question for you today is, what is the most important thing to teach a child?
I usually emphasize the existing education. We should include education about warm-heartedness. The student, children, when they are young, with their mother, with their family, the warm-heartedness is very important. And once we join school, not talking about these inner value, that I think in modern education, not with religious belief, that is something different, individual matter. But so long educating a human being, human student, human children, so they also want happy life. Just education, brain development alone, not sufficient. So student, now I think very example, student, I often used to telling, student who participate in classroom, I think student certainly prefer the teacher, tutor, who teach subject with smile, with human feeling. Then student much happier. Other hand, the teacher may be good scholar, but without a smile, without a human feeling, then I think student, very eager to finish classroom. If happy, if the teacher always show us a closeness feeling with student, then student, you see, want more time with such teacher. According to my own sort of experience, my teacher, who always teach me with smile, with open, I feel very happy. Some my teacher too much serious, then I see my watch. I really want to finish my classroom, my class. So therefore, the teacher, I think, should teach the subject with human feeling, with warm-heartedness, with sense of serious concern about long future of the student. I think that is important. Okay.
Merce Dufay is one of our international students, and she'll be asking our next question.
Your Holiness, thank you for taking my question this morning. So my question is, even though we may embrace that all life has suffering, how do we get past the fears of human conditions to find inner peace?
Yes, suffering or pain is part of all life. However, there's big differences mental level. Some was the same sort of, for example, physical illness. Someone mentally, due to different mental attitude, the physical suffering can easily, reduce. So, we human beings, about a unique thing about our mind, our intelligence. So education is the key factor. So there is also much sort of need to educate when we face some problem, including physical illness, how to reduce mental level, anxiety. So that is the best way, which when we face now at young age some problem, then eventually old age some problem. But you see, you should think these are nature. And then young one, you see, according their own sort of circumstances, they can do best to help other to maintain peace of mind. Then older people, you have more experience. So you see, share with other people. Now, for example, the young people, sometimes it seems more patient, more impatience. So then, such case, the older people, you see, can share more patience. No problem, no problem. Don't worry, don't worry. Like that. So in that case, you see, unfortunate experience is very helpful, see, to bring inner strength, inner peace. If I still remain in Tibet on throne, I think I may be something different. Now I become a refugee, remain in India as a guest of Indian government. So I'm very happy, very happy. So I can share more people who have some problem, some, you see, some suffering. How can utilize that unfortunate circumstances, how to bring inner peace, inner strength. Okay. Sometimes I feel if I still remain in Tibet on throne, more formal way, and I may become something different per person. Because I become refugee, stateless, and remain in this country as a refugee. So it's very helpful, mentally very helpful And also, you see, much easier to share with other people's sort of problem. Okay.
Sabria Smith is our next student who wants to ask a question.
Your Holiness, thank you so much for answering our questions. You've often talked about the commonality of all humans wanting to be happy. How would you define the difference between happiness, contentment, and joy?
Now, even, let's say, sick person or some illness almost, you see, cannot overcome. But still, in the hospital, you see, share with other patients. I say, condolence. You see, even you see one person who actually dying, then next sort of the person also same sort of condition, we can share each other and how to keep peace of mind. You see, after all, death is part of our life. So sooner or later, death will come. Like old age, then eventually death comes. You should accept. Then important is at the time of dying, peace of mind is very important. And particularly according to Buddhism and Hindu, many traditions, mind, subtle mind, we say no beginning. Always go that way. So some scientists, I asked, they were say, perception survey.
Conception at the time.
Conception. A time of conception. Just met semen, add blood, and show life take place. Or there could be third factor. They say third factor. So therefore, the third factor is what we call consciousness. Previous consciousness, previous life's consciousness. After this body is no longer used, then that consciousness still remains. Then new place, new circumstances, that consciousness enter, then new life start. So that's the Indian tradition, and particularly the Buddhist tradition. A lot of explanation how to develop our life and how previous life and this life go like that. So the consciousness, when we say mind, not sensory level of consciousness, but sixth mind, real chit, we call chit. There also, you see, many levels. At the time of dying, the chit level, or sixth mind, then become more subtler. Or physical level, consciousness reduce, then the sixth mind itself. There are also now different levels. When we, some people, at the time of death, physical level die, already dead, but the physical level remain very fresh because subtle mind still in their body. Then now recently, quite a number of cases, including my own teacher. After death, physically, doctors say dead, but his body remained very fresh. Next, I think more than 2 weeks, remained very fresh. So similarly, some people who even 1 month, body dead, but still body remain very fresh. So there is some now scientist, I think some Russian university, now set up one special sort of a group who carry also the experiment or research. So it is quite clear. Their mind become more and more subtle, then it become more independence from this body. That mind then come next life, take new body. So now here, you see, I met some young children who remember past life very clearly, very, very authentic. So that shows, you see, beside this body, there is something, mind. And mind also, there are different levels. So subtle mind take rebirth, like that. So mind, taking care about mind, very important, very useful. Okay.
Sean Reardon will ask our next question.
Hello, Your Holiness. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to receive your wisdom. What should a person do when they feel like they're stuck and lost without purpose, with nothing in life but the consumption of the world around them?
I think a person who just thinking about material life, then there is possibility you're completely lost as your interest or your hope. But people who have some experience, some knowledge about, you see, mind, then even, you see, the material level, you see, you now no longer connection, but still you can practice or meditate in a subtle level, peace of mind. So as I mentioned earlier, some old people physically now no longer any sort of capable to do, but still mental level certain sort of practice can do. With that, you see, a few weeks, their body remain very fresh, like that. Okay.
The next question comes from our Director of Production Services, Erin Fleming.
Good morning, Your Holiness, and thank you for responding to my question. Social media allows for human exploration, expression, and experimentation, but it can also cause crises. What are your thoughts on the effect of social media on the human condition? Thank you.
As I already mentioned, now time must change. Our thinking, the previous centuries, past centuries, we not much talking about wider sort of perspective. For example, I already mentioned you see, my nation, my group, more emphasis. Now today, we are talking about humanity, about world, about also the peaceful world. And then also, you see, about demilitarized world. So these, you see, thinking, you see, I think circumstances help us to develop such thinking. So the difficult circumstances utilize for good purpose. Okay, so I think we, a younger generation, now we should sort of teach, or we should also show them. Now the younger generation of this world can make happy, peaceful, demilitarized world. So the education, very important, then more problem, helpful, you see, to develop new way of thinking. More problem facing, you see, the people should feel now whether there is opportunity to overcome this or no longer. So this gives us opportunity to think more deeper level. So as I mentioned earlier, that previously we consider weapon something very important. Now we are thinking demilitarized world. So more problem, I think mainly weapon, that I really feel. So now all our sort of one responsibility, particularly the younger generation, try to this world, demilitarized world. And then through that way, peaceful world, and with concept of oneness of human brothers, sisters. Okay.
The next question comes from our provost, Dr. Pamela Scott Johnson.
Good morning, Your Holiness, and thank you so much for your presence. As provost of Monmouth University, are there any suggestions that academics can implement that you think promote unity and understanding of how we work together to function as a whole?
And basically, as I already mentioned, you see, consider oneness of 7 billion human beings and inner peace. More detail, and you know best how to improve the education or class. That I think you know best. Basically, as I mentioned earlier, we have now I think one important, I want to just repeat, the younger generation should not think the previous way of life, previous sort of thinking, just to repeat. No. Now things are changed. So the younger generation now must develop new way of thinking according new circumstances. So detail, the teacher, you know best. Okay.
Our second to last question is going to come from Professor Sanjana Raghudaran.
Namaskaram, Your Holiness. I bring you greetings and love from the School of Social Work. My question to you is, You have often spoken of the importance of loving and respecting mothers. What should someone do if they have a mother who is doing harm in the world? Thank you.
Basically, as I mentioned earlier, the mother, the always sort of real source of happiness. And we, from the beginning, we totally, relying on our mother. Then some exception possible. I think one mother, you see, who create more problem. That also, at the time of her own sort of baby age, taken care by their own mother. Same. Then education, environment, then gradually make differences. So I don't think basically or generally a mother who create problem of our world. I don't think, because of the circumstances you see create even frankly speaking, every sort of meditator, religious person, you see, generally, really peace of mind. But some individual case, religious people also become troublemaker. So, you see, individual sort of things is always possible. But we should, these should not consider exception. It is a normal. But basically, we, humanity, generally, you see, we have the responsibility to build the compassionate society. Okay.
So, Your Holiness, I would like to ask the last question. In the Fourth Noble Truth, you lay out the Eightfold Path. Do you consider any parts of this path to be more important than the others?
I feel basic teaching of Buddha is Four Noble Truths. Then the fourth, out of Four Noble Truths, they pass fourth. Then you see detail, Palamya like that.
The Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path. Noble Path.
Eightfold, Kasa.
Eightfold Noble Path.
The important is Four Noble Truths. It is very, very sort of Buddha sort of teaching, Four Noble Truths. Truth of suffering. Obviously, including insect, do not want suffering. The suffering due to causes and the conditions. So then, a second Four Noble Truths. Then, the third Noble Truth really give us hope, possibility to overcome, you see, these causes of suffering. Then, with that clear sort of understanding, then more enthusiasm to practice the path, fourth noble truth. So first, introduce suffering. The second, explain these suffering without causes, but must causes. So that second noble truth. Whether that causes can overcome or not, then third noble truth. Very important. Then with that understanding, then the enthusiasm for follow fourth noble truth. Then later, Palamyala or these involved come. Okay. Okay. Now next.
So this concludes our questions. Before I introduce our speaker for final comments, I would like to thank His Holiness's team that worked diligently guiding us through this process, Seton Choi Apakaya and Don Eisenberg. I also want to thank my dear friends, Maria and Bob Topnov from the Kalmek Three Jewels Foundation in Howell, New Jersey, who helped us and were instrumental in this process. Lastly, I'd like to thank Dr. Rekha Datta and Luann Russell, who have been with me from the very beginning to bring His Holiness's wisdom to our campus. And now I'd like to introduce Luann Russell for our closing remarks of deep gratitude to His Holiness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, it is with pure joy, admiration, and pride that we take these final moments to share our gratitude with you. Your wisdom and thought-provoking lessons allow us to immerse ourselves in your spoken words and beliefs. Your reflections on our happiness, our health, and our future provide us clarity on how we must take our next steps in life's journey. Today, you offered our students and staff at Monmouth University an opportunity to seek your guidance on important issues that will shape their future. Thank you for guiding us with your warmth, compassion, and spirited offerings. I want to thank you on behalf of the students, faculty, and administration of Monmouth University. Your invitation to live happier lives, showing compassion and appreciation for not only one another, but for the earth on which we stand, is being shared through live stream in 14 languages. Your words touch each of us personally, and we will continue to seek your guidance and blessings. We are honored and privileged to have had the opportunity to be with you today. As you have noted, there is one day we should focus on in our lives. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but live for today. We as a community will continue to embrace your guidance and instill your blessings in our daily lives. We thank you for the impact that you have made on us all. May our collaboration and continued efforts continue to grow together in the days ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank